Lads, here we are in Sochi for round number 15, or is it 16, of the F1 2014 career mode. Here for the Russian Grand Prix. We're doing some R&D testing. For the first time this season, we're actually going to get a useful upgrade if we pass it, and that's a 10% reduction in tyre wear. So, finally, thank you Ferrari engineers and Codemasters for finally giving me the upgrade part that I needed. It would have been nice to have it at the first round, just saying, because some of the races coming up, like Brazil, Austin, Texas, and Abu Dhabi, they're all low deg tyre wear tracks, so we're not really going to get a benefit now because, as I said, they're low tyre wear tracks. But, you know, either way, the end of Friday practice, we ended up in first place over our teammate Fernando Alonso, so that was a good start to the weekend here in Sochi. Of course, my first career mode race around here, and I'm looking forward to getting a good result, hopefully. And here we are in qualifying one, just negotiating the two Red Bulls who are returning back to the pits on their in-lap. But either way, we ended up topping the first qualifying session by 1.3 seconds over Nico Rosberg, so that's a good start. Q2 going first place as well over Lewis Hamilton. A lot closer this session though, because the AI tend to step up their game as the qualifying sessions progress. In terms of Q3 though, I'm not too sure if they actually get faster. Sometimes they actually get slower in this session, but so far we're actually down on Nico Rosberg's time by 1/10.5, so we'll need to pull our finger out here and really get a really good sector going here in this third sector. Very testing if you don't have any traction control on, as you can really lose the back end through some of those corners. And I've just had to sort of manage that over the course of the weekend with, I guess, standard revs and lean revs through that third sector. But either way, we actually topped the session by 2/10 over Nico Rosberg. The first time the entire weekend anyone got into the 39s, and I was actually pretty happy with that. So here we are in the race, starting from pole position. This strategy today is a two-stop option, prime option, so we'll see how that goes. But now, here we are on the grid of the Russian Grand Prix, waiting for those 5 red lights to go out now, and hopefully we can get off to a good start. It's a really long run into turn 1, so if we get a bad start here, it could really cost us. But looks like so far we've got a decent getaway. But now the two Mercedes cars now coming back at us. Will Rosberg lock up dramatically like he did in the real life Grand Prix? That remains to be seen yet, but we'll try and be the last of the late breakers. Coming into turn 1 now, and yes, we do maintain the lead so far. So look at that, just the AI going really slowly on that first lap. As I said many times before on this game, and even on 2013, the AI just go very slow, especially when they go side by side with each other. And if you have clean air like I do now, it's really easy to build out a gap. Speaking of a gap, it's now closing as Nico Rosberg has taken the lead now on lap 4. He's burning a little bit of fuel trying to get past us, and he's got the job done. Back into the lead, and just as the race progresses, the tyre wear is starting to kick in, and the consistency of the AI is really starting to, I guess, hamper me a little bit. I definitely had the 1 lap pace to beat everyone in this field, but just the overall consistency of the AI is very hard to keep behind sometimes when you just don't run any assists. You guys will know that, especially if you're on the wheel. Probably a little bit easier if you're running the pad. But either way, we'll be looking to get back past Rosberg as soon as we can, maybe with the help of DRS here. And yes, we do get it. So coming into turn 1, we'll try and use that slipstream and go up the inside into this first corner chicane. We get the job done side by side, and we actually lost the rear end a little bit there on the corner entry, as you can see on the replay, just tucking out of the slipstream, going back up the inside, and back up into the lead of the race. I actually made the move there with the DRS open. If I don't know why the car didn't lose its rear traction there and just go spinning off into the wall. I was a little bit lucky in that aspect. But look at that on the replay. You can see that Nico Rosberg has actually gone wide there, and he's dropped a whole bunch of time and positions. At the time, I actually thought he had a brake failure or something, and he was going to retire from the race and maybe bring out a safety car. So I was thinking about pit strategies, but for whatever reason, it was just some kind of mistake because it didn't really affect him after that. But Lewis Hamilton now taking the lead here on lap 6 with the help of DRS, and looks like he is going to maintain the lead now as we head into this third sector now. So tyre wear really starting to hamper me now. Hamilton almost going off track there and losing the back end slightly. So even for the AI, it's a real testing circuit here in Sochi, and it can really bite you if you're really not managing that rear traction, I guess. But either way, we can see Lewis Hamilton, you know, on the charge here, setting a 41.9. That is absolutely ridiculous pace for this phase of the race. And now we'll be coming in for our first pit stop of the day. We're actually going to come onto the option tyres now because Lewis Hamilton, he's just too quick. He's too consistent. I need to switch onto the option tyres to chase him down and get the lead back, because if I go onto the prime tyres and Hamilton, he's just going to walk away and win this race by a mile. I absolutely can't allow that to happen. We're too close in the championship for that to happen. I just need to win this race. I need to beat Hamilton. There's only a couple of races left to go, and the points difference between us is just too close. So I really can't afford to take any chances here. I just really need to beat him by any means necessary, really, and we're going to try and do that. We're probably going to be a lot slower at the end of the race on prime tyres while he goes onto the option tyres. I feel like with track position I can keep Hamilton behind, so that's what I'm going to try and do. Lap 9, we can see we're getting past Daniel Kvyat, who hasn't stopped yet, and he'll be coming in probably at the end of this lap, I think. So we'll see how that progresses. So we've actually got the undercut on some of the cars in front of us, including Rosberg and Alonso. So you'll probably find here that myself and Hamilton are going to have a big lead over the cars behind us, including Rosberg, who did make that mistake a few laps ago. So it's pretty much a straight up fight for first place here. We're pretty much, at worst, we're going to finish second. So we may as well go for it. Just try and use up all the tyres, use the fuel as well to try and catch Hamilton. Actually overshooting that corner there and getting angry with myself, because I probably could have, you know, had an attack at Hamilton maybe on one of these corners here, but I've just lost touch with Hamilton just ever so slightly. But I'm just trying to push as much as I can. You saw that inside front lockup. I'm just trying to push as much as I can to try and get this lead back. It looks like I might get it soon, because I you know, ultimately do have the pace over Hamilton at the moment. That's because he's on the prime tyres, and we're using a lot of fuel to catch him. So with the help of DRS, we might try and lunge it up the inside coming into the third sector. And yes, we do. We have the lead back, and that's a very big sigh of relief as we actually overshoot the corner. Now Hamilton tries to hold it around the outside, but he couldn't quite make it stick. He actually ran off the track there and lost a little bit of time. So we now take the lead here on lap 10. We need to build out that gap as much as we can. Use a little bit more fuel, setting purple lap times there with a 141.5. The gap is now out to 1.4 seconds. As we cut to lap 17, Hamilton is now coming back at us as our option tyres are now starting to go off, and we've actually run wide there. And now Hamilton is going to have a massive run on us here, coming through this long left-hander, and we might actually get interrupted here from the lap car, the Marussia. I think it's Jules Bianchi, I'm not too sure. But Hamilton, he gets back around the outside and back into the lead of this race. So that is a almost championship-changing pass for the lead there for Hamilton. We need to stay with him, you know, as much as we can, because I think we might be coming into the pits on this lap, or maybe even the next lap. So I'm going to try and get back past him if I can, using the DRS, and back into the lead of this race. My engineer is now calling me to come into the pits, so we're going to get the undercut here on Hamilton. So we'll put the car down into lean now that we do have that track position, and we'll try and get our fuel situation back in order. Man, this race is a bit crazy. Just so much intensity in this race, with the championship really starting to heat up. It's just, you know, all going off at this phase of the championship. But either way, coming into the pits, losing the back end there as the tyres just completely went off. I was so lucky to get the lead back, but either way, it didn't matter. We're now coming in for our next pit stop. So going on to the primes now for a nice 9-10 lap stint to the end. But I'm not too sure how the primes are going to last in terms of durability. As you guys know, I like to run the primes through the middle part of the race just to gauge what the tyres are like. And I'm not too sure because I haven't run them yet. I don't know if these primes are going to be good enough yet to get us to the end. So we'll see how that goes. In previous rounds like Suzuka and Singapore, the primes have actually been a little bit terrible. So fingers crossed they can work out for me as we cut to the end of lap 18. I've just been pushing while Hamilton has had the track position on older tyres. I'm trying to make up that time just so that I'll make up, you know, enough time to keep the lead really once he makes his stop. And he's actually coming out of the pits now, so it should be actually very close between the two of us, because Hamilton had a lot of pace even on the older tyres. It's actually very close. He's come out just behind us, so Hamilton just getting back into second place. And I'll tell you what, guys, if Hamilton would have stayed out for another lap, and I guess the rest of the AI would have stayed out for another lap, I think I actually would have lost the lead there, because I would have got caught up in traffic and Hamilton would have had a lot of clean air as well, and he might have got the lead back. So now with only 5 laps to go, we're trying to push as much as we can, just trying to pump out the best lap times we can. We're going really consistent, actually, doing mid-41s for like the last couple of laps. And Hamilton, even though I've been punching out the best laps I can, he's still been closing us down. And now lap 26, he's got a really good run on us on the back straight. And now he has DRS. He's going to try and go up the inside now into this third sector. But our fresh power unit is just really good. It's working wonders for us here in Sochi. But now it's the final lap. Hamilton is getting very racy here in this third sector, or this middle sector rather. It could be a case of another grandstand finish, just like in Suzuka and in Singapore. In Suzuka, we were the hunter chasing down Daniel Ricciardo for the race win. In Singapore, it was the opposite. Hamilton was chasing us down just like he is now, but we were able to keep him at bay on that race. Hopefully, we can do the exact same thing here as we come into this third sector now on the final lap. It's a very testing circuit here, especially when the tyres are as worn as what they are now. You need to really manage those rear tyres. Hamilton getting a really nice exit as he just has so much more traction. But there's not really many passing opportunities through this third sector. Only 2 more corners to go. Hamilton is right behind us. It's literally only a 10th. So one mistake and we'll be completely gone. But it looks like with only 1 more corner to go, we're going to win this race here in Russia. And that's now our 3rd win in a row. Hamilton really applying the blowtorch at the end of the race there. Somehow just keeping him behind. And I think that strategy call in the middle part of the race really did save us. Switching onto the option tyres, getting the undercut, and just, you know, keeping the lead from the middle part of the race onwards. So there we go, another race win. Only 1/10 the difference in the end between us and Hamilton. Rosberg managed to recover nicely to finish in 3rd place after his, I don't know, whatever mistake he made in that middle part of the race, just going completely wide, dropping a couple of spots. Fernando finishing 10 seconds behind in 4th place. I don't know what's going on with Fernando, but he started off the season so well, but he's just sort of drifted off at the back end of this season. But either way, he's been supporting us really nicely in the championship. We're now into the lead by 16 points over Hamilton. Rosberg is trailing us in 3rd, about 87 points behind us. So that's been this episode of the Career Mode Championship for Season 1. Guys, I'm thinking about my Season 2 team to go with. So in the comment, well, not in the comments, I'm going to leave a link to a straw poll where you guys can vote for the team that I might be going to next season. I just want to gauge what you guys want to see me drive for next season. So I'll leave that in the description below. But yeah, until the next race in the US of America, I'll see you guys next time.